Live from New York is Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting Ask an Engineer. We're broadcasting live from the Adafruit secret headquarters in downtown Manhattan, just blocks away from Wall Street. With me is Becky, the Becky Stern.
Hello.
I'm Lady Ada, the engineer. Also on the show.
Hello, I'm Phil.
Is Phil,
Adabot,
the
Phil.
Adabot, Adabot.
Too many names right now.
We have a lot of cool stuff on the show today. We're going to be answering a lot of questions.
That's
have
right.
our special guest.
Hello
We have
again.
a lot of cool wearable stuff. Man, this is a big exciting show. What's on this show?
Tonight's code will be Stern. Use the code Stern on checkout to get 10% off many things. Why? Oops. Because it's Becky Stern. Okay, we will be talking about the show and tell. We'll be talking about a new and fun badge you can put on your projects, the open source upgrade. We'll have new products, which we only have a couple this week, but they're good. We have sheets of stickers. We have the new Rgb Lcd positive negative. We're going to talk about that, answer a bunch of questions, because how does it only work with 2 pins? How is that even possible?
It's magic.
It's magic. It's also engineering.
Iceberg tea.
It's also an iceberg tea. And we're going to have a really big announcement during our top secret. It's not out yet. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. We're going to have all that and more and a cat all on Ask an Engineer.
Hooray.
All right.
Yeah, this week
Big
was
show.
a crazy travel week for us.
Yeah.
And also just doing engineering.
Yeah.
So we're going to have time for a lot of questions, and you're going to be talking a lot about your stuff. So this is really great. This is you picked a perfect week to show up on the show.
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
So let's real quick go over the code again. It's Stern.
Stern.
Star.
10% off many Adafruit kits in the store. 10% off.
It's German.
It's German. And also, we're going to play this thing, because every time you come into the factory here, I usually have to rush over and play this thing. So this is the...
You have fair warning, there's a doorbell downstairs.
Yeah, I have a little bit of warning, but I'm always rushing around. I have only one mode. I only have fast. So here it is, and I just want to play this for a second. Okay, so what is this?
It's my fanfare.
Fanfare.
And what is this all about? What is this? What is this?
Well, clearly I needed a fanfare.
Yeah.
And she's just that kind of fanfare type of lady.
It's the ringtone on your phone.
Right. It's really supposed to be the ringtone on your phone for when I call you, so that when your phone rings, you know that it's me. But I think of it as, it's calling my name, because the lyrics are my name. So when it's ringing, it's like, Becky Stern, answer the phone. Your phone is ringing, Becky Stern.
Okay.
So someone wants to know, will all of your forum posts have this attached? Maybe.
We can make that so that when you can
autoplay.
Autoplay.
You know what people like? They love autoplay. That's what I found out on the internet. They love autoplay. They're like, more autoplay out there.
Especially I had big horn sections.
Yeah.
I had this beautiful fanfare composed for me by a tubaist. What's a person who plays a tuba player?
Someone's
it's like a flautist. It's a tubist.
And it's quite nice. Four horn part, short little fanfare for me.
It's good fanfare though.
Okay.
We need to get some trumpets in here.
We'll get to you very soon, Becky. We're gonna introduce you, and we're gonna talk about you. You're here at Adafruit now. You're director of Wearable Electronics. Exciting. And we're also gonna go over some of your past projects that you're probably.
I brought a whole bunch.
We got like the best of.
The best of I could find in my boxes because I just moved and unpacked.
Yeah.
Phil's like, bring a bunch of projects, and I'm like, okay, well that means that my assignment is to unpack some boxes because I just moved house, which is great. It means that my workshop is getting unpacked, and the projects are here.
So we're gonna talk about what was on the show and tell. So every week we do. Tell people.
Show and Tell is a Google Hangout that we have where up to 10 people can join the awesome Lady Adafruit Show and Tell. Show off your cool projects. Talk about what you're working on. Just show and tell, basically. You know, show and tell from grade school. It's basically like that. To add yourself, if you want to show something on the Show and Tell, unfortunately, you have to be in the Show and Tell circle. And to do that, all you have to do is get a Google Plus account and then make a comment on my Lady Ada's Google Plus post about it. We usually make a post like a couple days before the Show and Tell, saying, hey, comment here if you want to be added, and say, hey, add me, and then we'll add you, so in the future you will get part of the invite. We can't make it public because there's 500,000 people on the Google Plus following thingy, whatever it's called, so we can't make it public, so we have to have a circle. So that's pretty easy.
Yeah, and it's great motivation.
Okay, so what were some of the projects? Let's try to remember them. This is always hard. So the first one we saw was
some LED sculpture.
Yeah, that was really
and the
neat.
tubing trick.
With the tubing trick, that was
Took
neat.
surgical tubing or like aquarium tubing and put it on an LED to diffuse it.
Yeah, it looks like kind of a fiber optic-y.
We saw a disc loader project.
Disc loader, so programming Arduinos using an SD card, and then it was also interfaced with an IR remote. That's kind of cool.
And we also saw a really cool solar panel with a bunch of Adafruit
solar
stuff.
panel,
battery charger,
batteries plus a solar charger, and then
voltmeter.
a voltmeter even, which is really handy to tell you what the volts are.
Yeah. And then we saw a fellow from the UK, which must have been really
early
anymore,
it's like 5
school project. It's an RFID reader inside of a mouse using a 32U4 board with the HID stuff. Really cool. We're starting to see really cool projects.
He crammed a really small, like he tore apart a hub, stuffed it into, like it looked like a Microsoft mouse, like a generic Microsoft mouse, and then the 32U4 board plus an RFID reader so that you could, when you put an RFID tag on it, it would log you in automatically. Yeah. It's kind of cool.
He had it in mind for implanted RFID tags, but it would work for a wristband too.
Yeah.
And then
we have key fobs in the store for us.
Jeremy had a really cool wearable project with the round solar panel that we got. And it had all sorts of ways to do temperature and stuff like that.
It had a little LED that would change color to temperature, and he also had a couple you could shake it to make it tell you the temperature.
Yeah, it was all he did it so it would run off of the 40 up to 40 milliamps from the solar panel. So it's cool. That's the thing I really like about our solar badge. Because Phil was like, well, I want to have a solar badge. And we're like, well, we can make something that looks like a solar panel, but that's like really lame. Yeah. It would be cooler to have
solar panel.
Yeah, we actually
solar
found
badge.
a round solar panel.
So I went and I found a round solar badge that's also 5-volt output. So like you can actually run most electronics off of it. It's not a lot of current because it's like this big. And then we have a little sticky, like a foam sticky pin back. It's like a permanent foam. So once you stick it on, you can attach it to something. So it's actually also a really good way to attach it to a wearable project.
So he earned his solar badge and his wearables badge.
Yeah, all at once.
Yeah.
And then Chris, his RiderNet project can now communicate telepathically. So he actually did not need to use voice.
Yeah.
It told me to do all sorts of things, and one of them was to make sure that we showed his project, and he zoomed in on it. It was perfect. No words were spoken. Unbelievable.
Because his mic wasn't working.
It speaks from the heart, though.
Yeah.
But we know about the project, and we could do his update for him.
Yeah.
That was cool. I like that project.
Yeah.
1 week.
I like horses.
1 week, we're just it's just going to be a horse with like all these Arduinos all over it, and the horse is going to be like communicating. Like, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to be cool.
Cool.
It's going to be cool.
Cool.
More carrots, please.
There was a telepathic horse on in Metropolis, was it?
Well, what do you think Mr. Ed was?
It's true. He was kind of telepathic.
Yeah.
He could speak.
His lips didn't move.
I think they gave him like peanut butter or something to make him.
Yeah, Chris already has a horse flora project plan. I'm so glad that was a sentence I got to say today. I did not expect to say horse flora project.
Horse flora project.
Yeah, that's very hard to say 5 times. So I can do it. Okay, I have just like one or two news things, and then actually just one thing, and then we'll do a new product, and then we'll just go right into like Becky Stern zone.
Becky Stern.
Okay, so
Becky Stern.
I don't know. Do you want me to? Anyways, so,
Disco.
Yeah. So we're gonna release this on Monday, but the folks at Kubro who have the GPS.
Yeah, the really cool standalone GPS kit that we have.
Yeah, they're posting up on our site, which is super cool. Tyler's doing the post, and he had this little icon on the thing. It said "Open Source Upgrade," and this is going to be the new version, by the way. But basically, we want to start celebrating what happens when your project has other people who work on it. So this is a new badge, and we're going to release this. I'm going to post it up on Make. It's going to be on Adafruit. I want everyone to try to adopt this. Basically, when your project gets out there and someone adds to it, you can then say, hey, this has been open source upgraded. So someone came along and they just did all this awesome stuff with the Kubro. Basically, it's like not a new product, but it's like 2.0 because all this stuff is open source. So if someone came along, updated the code, you can have more waypoints, you can have more crumb trails and different. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So how can we as people who make electronics that have this crazy idea of giving it away, how can we celebrate that in a cool way? So this is one of the ways. We're going to put badges on all of our stuff that when it gets upgraded. So a really good example is remember when Scott rewrote the battery code for the cufflinks and necklace, who I think he was in the chat. We'll be able to put this badge on there and say, hey, this product has been open source upgraded because we thought it would be neat to put the code out there, the schematics, the source code, the design files, and because we did that, it got upgraded. So we want to have reasons for people to open source their stuff.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah, he put this up. He blogged something, and then you reblogged it, and I was like, wow, that's like the coolest stamp badge I've ever seen.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, because I'm not going to talk about my article that I did on Make this week, except for like one sentence. I wanted to talk about why open source hardware is good and what we're all doing behind the scenes that we're just not telling everybody yet. Like we pay royalties and like we try to celebrate each other. We don't like step on toes. We stand on shoulders. Like all this, like it's all like cultural stuff. Because in the end, there's no way to actually protect hardware. And there was a Business Week article that MakerBot was mentioned in, and also 3D robotics and Adafruit. And one of the things that a VC person said, well, I don't see I'm paraphrasing, I don't see the reason that this is going to work out because you're giving away all your intellectual property. That's not a very good competitive advantage. And we look at it the other way. We think that hardware is going to get cloned anyways. Everyone can always look at hardware. So we always have to do something more than just the physical bits. So things like community, service, support, have a show every week, do tutorials, release code, give more to the world than you're taking.
Yeah.
And so this badge is going to be a cool way. So we're gonna put this on our products.
Nice.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
It's a nice design too.
The article's on makescene.com for someone.
Okay, great.
Okay. So one last thing, just a reminder: the code is Stern.
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 10% off.
The name of a celebrity magazine in Germany.
Really?
Well, it means star.
Gosh, Sternen.
Oh yeah, star. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Star.
So we're gonna do one quick new product. We have actually, I'm sorry, we have two. So yeah, it is now new product time. Yeah, you know, it's that graphic.
Yeah, this week
So it's
was
new product time.
a little bit slow for new products. I think it's okay.
We have like 20 things next week. But,
next week is going to be like a
So I'm gonna do the stickers first. So
Oh.
Can you hand me the stickers?
yeah.
Okay, everyone asked for this, so I did it.
You went sticker crazy.
Yeah, so we did it. So people were buying the individual stickers, and so now we have 33 of them on one sheet. It's gigantic. There are 33 vinyl stickers. If you buy these, it saves you $14 instead of buying them individually. So we have.
And these are high quality.
Yeah, and
like beautiful color,
UV resistant,
outdoor vinyl print, print.
Real deal.
stickers.
And it's poster
So these
size.
are-
You can see how big it is compared to a Becky. So it's like
It's
at
like
least-
Becky's.
It's like four.
It's like four Becky faces.
Four, yeah.
4 Becky faces worth.
Yeah, Becky has 4 of these.
We could cover Becky's head
Yeah.
with these.
So
Easily.
the stickers that we have on here is 3D printing oscilloscope, radiation, Hello World programming, Magic Blue Smoke Monster, circuit bending, microcontrollers, Android, catapulting, reverse engineer, laser, ESD, Linux, Penguin, TV Be Gone, VIR, multimeters, QR code, BeagleBone, biohacking, soldering, open source hardware, I Love Metric, HTML5, welding, robotics, Ada Lovelace, Tesla coil,
Water jet safety.
water jet safety, bicycle
Bicycle.
repair, high altitude balloon, educational UAV, LEDs, and dumpster diving. So this is it. Big ol'. It is a to-do list
The
for makers.
stickers bridge product number 666. I noticed, and it's the UAV badge.
It's always like that.
Product
Oh, I know. It's like I didn't. I remember generating the barcode for these, and I'm like, man, like what does that have to be 666? Like everyone's. But the UAVs that we like are the friendly ones with a camera that like go around and like help people.
Happy UAV.
UAV friends, not UAV enemies.
That's right.
So, anyways, that's it. Those are
Whole
stickers.
sheet of stickers.
Whole sheet of stickers. Okay. Next up, this was the big product that everyone liked and bought this week. This was the Rgb Lcd Shield.
LCD.
Sorry.
You can't see because it's cut off.
Yeah. no.
LCD.
I was learning how to pack orders, and so many people were ordering these.
Yeah, we actually sold
Yeah,
out,
we
and
sold
then
out.
we made more. So,
So here it is.
Yay!
This is the this is the negative one, and you can see a few photos, and you can see that it's a different color, depending on what you want it to be.
Purple.
And then we also have the positive
Purple's
one.
nice.
So I'll put it on here. There's a positive one, and you can see it has different colors.
Teal.
Now,
Blue.
maybe you
Purple,
can use the
yellow.
overhead and briefly discuss how is it possible that you're doing all this with only 2 pins? Because that's
Okay.
what everyone always wants to know.
Okay. Yeah, let me show this off.
Oh, is the schematic available as I couldn't find it? Yes, it's on GitHub.
It's on GitHub. It's a little bit bright. But There's so much stuff on the screen.
What is the distance limit for I2C?
I don't know, a couple feet. Okay, so this is how
What is I2C? Maybe.
I'm like trying here, and you guys are all asking me questions before I even got to show this off. Let me show this off.
Yeah, show it off.
Okay, so this is the new Rgb Lcd Shield, and I'll just disconnect it so I can show the shield parts before. So yeah, it fits on an Arduino, and it's got these legs, and it plugs right in. And it's a kit, but it's a very easy kit. There's actually not a lot of parts. You can see it's just a couple buttons. There's 6 buttons, a big long chip over here, and then a little potentiometer. And there's a couple of resistors underneath to set the LED color, current current limiting resistors for the backlight Rgb LED. And we wanted to, a lot of people really like our Rgb LCDs. They're character LCDs. They can do 16 by 2 characters, and they're very, very easy to use.
And colorful, beautiful.
And these are colorful, so the backlight is RGB, so you can change the backlight to be literally any color you can make with an Rgb LED, everything pretty much. And they're fantastic, and people use them for ambient display. So the color means something, and the text is more detailed, and that's great.
Nice.
The problem is though, is that when you have Rgb LCDs, you have the 6 pins for controlling the display, and then you have another 3 pins you need to control the LEDs. So you're talking about 9 pins, and that's half of the pins available in Arduino. That's a lot of pins. That's also a lot of wiring. And so we wanted to make a shield that you could stack on top of any other shield or any other project where it wasn't conflicting with everything, because people wanted to.
Well, yeah, because if you have output, but if you don't have enough pins to do any input, what are you gonna do for the output?
Or you have a motor, you have a robot, so you want to have a motor shield. Well, the motor shield uses a lot of pins because you can drive 2 servos and then a bunch of steppers, and then you want to add a display, and you're like, oh shoot, and you don't want to upgrade to a Mega maybe because you want to keep the small space. So what we do is we have a chip here. This long chip is an I2C port expander. And I2C is a bus that's it's a little complicated to use, but I wrote all the code, so it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's not too hard to use now because there's a library. And using only 2 pins, the analog 4 and 5 pin, it can talk to the shield and display any text you want, change the background color, and also it has 5 input buttons down here, sort of directional buttons, up, down, left, right, and a select button. And I just tied those in so that they would change the background color so you can easily see it. So it's really neat. You have this one chip that turns 2 pins on the Arduino into 16 pins, and so I use that for the RGB backlight, the LCD, and the buttons.
Nice.
There's trade-offs. One is it's a little slower because you have to go through the I2C port. Second, you have to use those 2 pins, the analog 4 and 5 pins. So that's totally fixed. So if you need a lot, if you need all 6 analog inputs, that makes it a little more complicated because those are the only pins that can do analog. Another thing that's not ideal with this chip is it's a through-hole chip. It's very inexpensive and easy to get, easy to solder, but it doesn't have PWM output. So the RGB backlight, it can only turn on, at this time, it can only turn on the red, green, or blue LEDs. So you can have red, or red and green, which is yellow, or green and blue, which is teal, or blue and red, which is purple, or all of them on, which is white, or all of them off, which is, black. I don't have that set up, but basically it's, a pale background with the black letters. And that's good for when you want to save power, you want to have it be outside, so you have a good contrast. It is possible that I'll be experimenting with trying to software PWM it by just writing to the display really fast to make it do more colors. But from what I've seen people use the Rgb LCDs for, and I've looked at a bunch of projects, we've had have a couple hundred out there, 1,000 out there. Most people actually kind of only want to have a few colors. They want to have red as a warning, green as everything's okay, yellow as hey, I need to give you information, purple for
So how many colors do you have? 6 colors? That's a lot.
That's 8 colors.
8 colors.
8
That's
colors
a lot.
if you include white as a color, black as a color.
That's a lot of different things to do. Sure, why not?
I think it's enough, and I'll try to maybe hack it so that I'll have an example sketch where it uses the timer and it writes to the display fast enough, which we can do. I just haven't had time to sit down to write it. So this is the one that's the positive display. So the backlight is what changes color, and the text is black. And then I'll also show the negative display. And this is actually a little bit more popular. People really like the negative display.
It's really lovely looking.
Which is, it's a dark, it's not quite black, but it's like a dark background, and the the text changes color more, so you can see
Yeah.
it's much more striking.
It's really handsome.
It's still tough to see with the this actually looks pretty close to.
Yeah,
That one.
The blue one was the only one that
The
I
purple
had a
I
hard
think
time
looks the
seeing.
most.
This is the negative one?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
negative.
so here's the photos, by the way. Like, you can see the exact photos.
I think the purple looks really good. Actually, the red looks good, but it's
Yeah.
it's not as bright just because red is
Do you want to
not sensitive to red as much.
do some questions?
Yeah, so now I can answer questions.
Okay.
Now that I think we've also the Shield will work with the standard blue and white non-RGB backlight LEDs, LCDs. And we'll have those as a pack in the store, but I think most people wanted this to be for the RGB, so we want to start
Okay.
with that.
Quick question. Any chance of making the address selection adjustable by solder jumpers in the future?
We might do that in the future. I thought about it, and then I was like, you know what? I think it'll confuse people to start. So since this address doesn't conflict with anything, I have a table of stuff that is really common. We thought that if you're going to use this along with another I2C port expander, you should probably just change the address on that.
Okay.
That's trade-offs.
Chris had a question about the tutorial with file thing. Probably better posting that up in the forums
Yeah,
so we
post
can
in the
take
forums.
a look at that. That's hard to do over. Let's see. I'll ask you about why is it called I2C in a second, but let me scroll back. And
I
see
have
if
no
can-
idea why it's called I2C.
Okay, maybe someone in the chat knows.
Kyle-
can it work with
Kyle Phillips.
Can it work with
Hello?
the Ethernet shield and LCD keypad shield? Ethernet and LCD.
This should work fine with the Ethernet shield. The only thing is the Ethernet shield goes on first, and then you might have to use an extra set of Arduino stacking headers. We have those in the store. They're like $1.50 because the Ethernet jack is tall, and so this won't sit on top unless you give it a little bit
Does
of
it
a
have a
boost.
4-pin header to allow mounting not on the Arduino easily?
If you want, you don't plug in, don't solder in the headers. Just connect the I2C pins and the power pins. It's only 4 wires, and there's holes in the PCB, so you can mount this to something if you want.
Yeah.
But we thought most people want
There's
to
someone
use
that
it.
said that Philips developed I2C to communicate in like TV microcontrollers or something like that's what
It's
it was.
used
Yeah.
almost everywhere, but yeah, it's used for slow speed microcontroller to sensor microcontroller communication.
Yeah. How much memory does the library take?
How much RAM?
Memory,
Yeah, not very much. Like maybe 50 bytes, maybe 100 bytes at most. It's pretty lightweight because it's just taking the command in and then it rewrites it and sends it off. It's only a couple bytes more than Liquid Crystal library. The Liquid Crystal library is currently like the library that I maintain, and so I basically just took that code and I renamed it to avoid confusion and kind of changed the underlying stuff to use I2C.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to make a little something.
Well, it's nice because it's like because it only uses those 2 pins. If you plug it on top, there's less risk of it messing up whatever you're working on, which is not true of all the other LCD shields that we saw. And so we're like, I want something. I had a little bit of
Plays nice
space.
with
Okay.
the
Next
current
up,
other shields.
did you consider a micro on the shield versus port expanding to allow smarts like scrolling in the display, etc.?
I think that you should take care of that on the Arduino. It didn't make sense to spend a lot more money because the microcontroller is going to be a lot more complicated, and then you have to program it. The port expander is really, really fast and works really, really well. There is code out there for scrolling. I think even there's an example for Liquid Crystal library. So I think that makes more sense.
Okay.
To do that.
I2C started in 1982 according to Wikipedia.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna move on. 'Cause we have a lot of Becky stuff. So that is the end of the new product section. this week.
It's light, and then next week we're gonna have tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So
That's
get
gonna be
excited.
fun. Yeah.
I'm excited about this purple.
Yeah, we
I
Yeah.
really like this.
Yeah.
I think this is cool, and I think it's nice that the keypad also doesn't take up any pins, so you get a lot for your
Okay.
keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just mention the code again.
Stern.
Yeah, it's Stern. Use
And
code
the,
Stern.
and the
10%.
LCD kits are on sale too.
They're on sale.
10%.
That's
My
right.
parents are so proud.
Yeah, it
I'm the
worked out.
discount code.
Okay, so we're gonna show some of you're
My
gonna
projects.
show
I'm
some
gonna
of
show
your
some
projects.
projects.
But let's for the folks who don't know, Becky has joined Adafruit, directing our wearable stuff.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
So previously on Ask an Engineer and elsewhere, the Flora was announced. That's our wearable platform, and
I gotta get on that.
it's
I feel like Lemore made me a microcontroller
Yeah.
for Christmas.
yeah, that's all. So we have that, but one of the things that we're really
Annual holiday gift giving.
conscious of is a lot of platforms are useless without really great projects and really great documentation and really great examples and just lots of stuff to do. So the Flora, we're gonna release it when it's ready, and by ready we mean there's testers out there that are using it.
Mm-hmm.
There's Becky, who's going to be doing a lot of amazing stuff with it. So when you're actually able to buy it, you'll be able to do all the cool stuff that you see. Mm-hmm. We think that's important. However, we had to announce it because these are out in the world, and someone will show it off, and they'll say, "Whoa, what is this crazy thing?" So we wanted to make sure everyone knew what this is and it's coming. Mm-hmm. And we may even release some of the accessories first to get them out, so people are testing them and using them before Flora. So we have lots of things. That's basically
lots of stuff to do.
That's like your platform that you'll be spending a lot of your time on, in addition to like tons of other stuff. So that being said, maybe you can talk a little bit about you and then show your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I worked at Make, and now I work here.
And that is the Becky Stern origin story. No, so you actually went to Parsons.
Okay, you want to go back further than
We're going to go back.
Back.
Do you want to play the fanfare? No.
No, it's okay.
Back. You originally came to New York to go to Parsons.
Yes, I went to college at Parsons, and I was into like sewing and stuff, crafting growing up. My mom's a big like quilter and knitter, and taught me about sewing, and they're big home renovation people. So when I went to Parsons, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I had no experience with electronics, but I found some fun department there. It's called Design and Technology, and they have a grad program too. It's very good. And I started playing with electronics, and naturally I just used the other creative skills I had, sewing and stuff, to just like put of course the LEDs go in the stakes.
Okay,
so plush stakes.
So you went to Parsons, and you graduated with a BFA.
Yeah, and then I went to grad school in Arizona.
Okay, so then you're like, I'm leaving New York to go to the hot place.
Well, instead of, like, when you first get out of college, like, you can get a crappy job, or you can try to go to grad school. And
you went and you kind of started an MFA, or
I started a PhD program, and
you just skipped over the
MFA
part.
And I hated it, and so I switched to an MFA in sculpture, and I dropped out of that too when I went full time at Make. That wasn't actually because I liked the sculpture program just fine, but
and then you came back to New York.
And I moved back to New York.
Okay.
When I went full time at Make.
So you were doing a lot of stuff. You did like crafting stuff, videos.
Yeah.
I know you from Make Live.
I originally started doing like writing for a craft and making some craft videos, and then writing for a Make, and then we did Make Live in 2011. It was our streaming show and tell knockoff of Ascii Engineer, and
what? Okay, cool. So let's show off some awesome projects. I want to show off this project first.
Okay.
So maybe let's go on the overhead.
I made this in grad school. This is
because it was your first project, so I think this is like chronologically correct.
Not at all.
No?
No, are you kidding?
Sorry.
Not nearly.
What's the first chronologically correct?
On the table right now, this one.
Okay, so here you go.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought this was your first project.
I can keep switching
back
and forth
all
night.
I made this in 2008.
I don't even know. When did you make this project?
2008.
Okay, so 2008, you made this lovely sort of embroidered-ish.
It's a frog catching fireflies, and it was my first like LED embroidery project, and I made that as a tutorial for craft.
So you got a coin cell and these sewable. We actually have these in the store.
Yeah, my favorite coin cell battery holder and the conductive thread, but it's silver. And because I made it in 2008, you'll notice that the silver's a little bit oxidized.
Yeah, so you can see this is actually something interesting.
It turns black.
Thank you for bringing this.
It used to be exactly the same color as the fabric.
So this is silver thread, and it's interesting because you can
oxidized.
See it's black.
Turn it on and show how dim the LEDs are because of how. The LEDs are really dim.
So what happens is, as silver is already very high resistance, it's like 300 ohms a foot or something.
Yes.
And then, as it oxidizes, it starts, it gets coated, and so
exactly.
the conductivity
So if you
reduces.
think of the silver, it's like silver plated nylon or something. So you think of the strands, and they're covered, like here's a strand and here's a strand, and they're each coated in silver plating. Well, eventually, like air gets in there, and a layer of oxidation forms here and here, and then the silver isn't touching as much, and so it's more resistive, and so you get dimmer LEDs. And some of my projects a couple projects that I tried to bring don't work at all anymore.
No!
I know, it's
This
bummer.
is why we have the
stainless steel thread is better. Yeah.
It's a little more expensive.
And it wasn't available to me when I was working on
stainless steel thread was not. It wasn't like because people were using like Lame Lifesaver and other silver
that's what
threads.
this is, Lame Lifesaver.
So people were like, oh, silver thread, and then like when you came to me and you're like, oh,
It lasts about a year.
it lasts. It depends on the environment.
Yeah.
It depends. You came to me and you said, hey, I heard you're doing Wearables stuff. I said, yeah, Becky, by the way, I have a question for you because I know you had been having problems with some embroidery stuff that was really old. And I said, what can I use it? Is there something we can do to avoid oxidation? Because I don't want to have kits where it dies after a year.
Right.
And you said, oh, the stainless steel thread, and that began my 6-month quest.
And now
To
it
get
carries
through.
it, and we'll never have to worry about
We
this
have
problem
3
again.
different kinds of thread: the yarn and the thin and the thick conductive thread. And so hopefully you'll do some projects in the last like a decade.
Well,
or
we're
more.
gonna see.
It lasts forever.
I know. I'm really excited because a lot of my projects don't work anymore.
The stainless steel doesn't
It's a
oxidize.
bummer. So that's
Okay.
cool though. So I made that, and
So that's a downer.
and then
This is
that's what
kinda
my
cute.
kit was based off. Oh, thanks.
I like having a switch mounted onto the
An
wooden
embroidery hoop.
embroidery hoop. Okay.
So that beget like a LED sewing kit, which is
Okay.
a thing. And then
Next
so
step. What's
you
next
want to
chronological?
if you want to go chronological, then it's QR code scarf. And you know
Okay.
I've been trying to work on a QR code scarf for a really long time. So this is the hand knit one.
So you knit this by hand.
Yeah, and it doesn't scan. It doesn't
yeah,
scan.
it looks like it's a little
Yeah,
messy
it doesn't
there.
scan.
Okay.
But I want to make
There's
a QR
no
code
check.
scarf, and I think I don't know if I had the knitting machine already, but I was planning on getting a knitting machine,
You
and
knit
so I
this
was
by hand. Wow.
the whole scarf.
That's
I wanted to make a QR code scarf. I was really into the idea, and so much so that I got the knitting machine. And then this is the machine knit one that it actually does scan, but I didn't leave enough white space on the side. You actually need like
Yeah.
more white space in order to make it scan successfully. It works if you put it on a white piece of paper.
All right. Well, I believe. I mean,
Um,
we have like the camera, so you can't see it. But yeah, this is a
Sure.
lot nicer because you have two stitches per square.
Per square. The knitting machine just uses, it's just like way easier to do a finer gauge knitting.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, it
and
does.
I programmed, that was before we worked together to make the knitting machine, like be able to put patterns on it from the computer. So I actually entered in every one of the pixels in that QR code by hand to my knitting machine.
So I'm gonna make it full screen here so that okay, get your phones out, folks, if you really want.
I don't know if this is gonna.
I don't know, like I said, I don't know that it's
Can you
going
get
to
rid
really
of the
scan.
little
The bug?
here?
No,
No.
no, that's there.
It says, it says like Fnord or
Yeah.
something.
People were able to scan my stickers and my badge that I have, so yeah, it does work over the internet.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the scarf's not perfect if it's
Yeah.
wiggly. Anyway, but that was the second iteration, so that was chronological. And then you could do this now.
Okay, sorry.
You
Next up is this was the original.
can take it out of the box if you want.
Yeah, but,
The
but
shadow.
it looks good with the
Oh, the black
contrast.
background.
This is the
Turn the
original.
box so you get some light. Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
This is the original Ascii heart necklace, and this is like super chunky.
It's
This is
hollow
like-
form, actually.
It's hollow form, so this is like.
It took me 4 freaking ever. So this was in my jewelry. I was in.
So you have to cut these, and then you have to like bend the outside.
Yeah,
so it
what
looks
you do
solid,
is-
but it's actually hollow.
You take a really thin sheet that's the thickness of the block, and you form it to a template that you've drawn on a piece of paper. So then you have just
Yeah.
this outline, and then you solder it to a flat sheet of silver. Then you cut that silver out. Then you flip it over, and you solder it to another flat sheet of silver, and then you cut it out. And then I soldered on the tubing. And so then I put it on the internet. Lots of people liked it, and there was no way. Like this took me 80 hours to make that. So.
And they're like, I want you to make me that for $40.
Yeah, so then I made, so eventually we're down to this now, the laser cut, like sheet silver version
Yeah.
that you guys carry.
Yeah,
That's
is nice.
It's smaller, too much
but
smaller.
it's really shiny.
It's
It's
high
nice.
polish.
Yeah.
That, I wasn't so into high polish then.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
so that's
cool.
the Ascii heart necklace. I like it's big and chunky.
Yeah, this is super chunky.
And then we could do jewelry while we're at it.
Okay.
I also
this
made
is also a super awesome thing you made. This
Firefox
is a
necklace.
Firefox necklace, and it's made also out of polished silver.
Yep.
I'm gonna put this on the red part of the box
Go for
so
it.
you can see it a little better.
I made a video about how to make it for a craft.
So it's the Firefox fox.
Mm-hmm.
It's just surprisingly recognizable.
It's actually Toby Liegenbrugger in Germany. He works for for Mozilla, and he's in the FET lab, the Free Art and Technology lab. He put a file up on Thingiverse of the Firefox Fox, and he cut it out of like mirrored acrylic and wore it real big like Flava Flav.
Yeah.
And he called it Fox Bling, and I loved the idea and wanted to make a littler one, so I just
This is
his
so
file's
cool.
on Thingiverse.
I like this one much better than your previous Internet Explorer one.
It crashed all the time.
Every time you wore it, you got sick. And you gave your keys to strangers. It's so weird.
All right, what's the next thing?
You want to do? I don't know what to do.
Maybe this?
Sure, it's related. We'll do all the
Okay.
LED stuff now.
So
So
this
that's the
is-
shoe clip. Here, put the battery in.
Clip, which way goes it?
Does you figure it out? It only lights up one way. I don't remember.
I don't know. Let's Can you do it? 'Cause I don't know. I don't want to break it.
You're not gonna break it.
But you don't want to break it.
That other way.
Okay.
I don't remember. Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
You just wiggle it a little. The connections aren't perfect. So
this is a shoe clip. So this is little LEDs inside
a ruffle.
A ruffle.
So I had to go be a bridesmaid, and at bride's request, I was in charge of the color scheme of the wedding, and we were all to wear different colors, and I was assigned yellow. And I was looking for, I didn't actually end up wearing these to the wedding. You don't want to outshine the bride, and I did not want to make them for every single person in the wedding. But I did make a tutorial about how to make like a ruffle, just a bunch of circles, and then pin them to a little piece of fabric as a substrate with a battery in it, and you clip it to the outside of your high-heeled shoes, and they instantly become prettier. Speaking of LEDs, there's another project. This one is just a little, the connection's loose there.
Yeah.
My friend Moxie and I made a tutorial for needle felting. She's a needle felting total expert. Maybe she's in the chat watching. And she wanted her pinball bumper necklace to light up like a real pinball bumper. So we put an LED. It's the same deal, sewable battery holder on the back and just an LED forced up into the pinball bumper.
Okay, someone wants to know, how do you make mirrored silver less susceptible to oxidation?
I soak it in a chemical that like orients the molecules in such a way that on the surface of the silver. So
it's what we dunk the chains in.
Yeah. It's called like
Midas Shield.
Tarnish Shield by Midas, and it's just a chemical.
If you look on Rio Grande for anti-tarnish, it's like this.
Yeah. So there's a chemical we dip stuff in, and there's also like little 3M makes like a little paper thing that you could put in the jewelry box with your jewelry that'll like soak up the oxygen in a small contained area to help reduce oxidation.
Someone don't like that Tarnex stuff.
I don't know what Tarnex is, but
I mean, it's like there's tons of names for it. I'm sure. It's just like this acid that does it.
Right. Mhm.
Okay. Next
Pinball
up,
bumper by Moxie. The LED is by me.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that there's tutorials for mostly all of these projects. So
okay, next up is okay. So this is a big. Maybe we should go on the not overhead.
Okay, was that? Okay, 1 second.
I'm not sure that the.
You didn't test this out.
I didn't charge the battery. No, it's on.
Okay.
This is my heart headband, beating heart headband. So I can see it. Okay, so it's the open heart display, Jimmy Rogers open heart display, and then the Arduino pulse sensor, and it clips onto my ear, and it's monitoring my heart rate and then flashing the LED display to my heart rate. It's not totally perfect. The code that runs on it is what like takes in the sensor and then figures out when to blink.
Yeah,
and it's not.
tough.
And Jimmy wrote the code, and I'm not such a great programmer, but I put it in a headband. So if we want to put it on the overhead, you can show the inside.
Okay.
It uses there's snaps. You can undo them to show that more of the circuit board off. It uses just like a little breadboard Arduino, circuit in there, and then a tiny little lithium battery and the LilyPad power board to manage that power. But the Flora would run this just all by itself, all perfect.
This is really cute. I really like the open heart kit.
I have a couple LEDs out on
like
my
if you were to like exercise and like get your heart rate up really fast, would it?
Yeah.
It would
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's freaking out. It's like, hey, there's nothing connected.
There's nothing connected to it, yeah. But so it's a cool headband project. There's I like to include like not only a tip about electronics but also a tip about crafting.
Yeah.
So like what's cool about if you want to make a headband and you have a non-stretchy fabric like this ribbon, you include either like a hair elastic or a loop of this rope elastic at the back, and it you can make a headband out of it.
Could it replace medical equipment?
No.
I would not use it for hot
It could replace it, but in only like the worst way.
Um,
Doctor, quick! I'm the 1.0 IDE is not working. The patient, we lost them.
Jimmy Rogers wrote my heart monitoring code. I don't know if you wanna. If it's for fun though, and it's good for like maybe like a Valentine's Day
it's a
date.
good project because it includes sensors and LEDs.
Quick question:
Yeah,
what's the best way to make a switch in a fabric circuit so it's not noticeable?
It depends on what kind of switch. Zipper switches are really great, and I have a project we could maybe show that next.
Magnetic.
Magnets are great. If you want it to be inside something, like I've made pillows where you want to like hug it and turn something on, you use 2 pieces of conductive fabric like this with a piece of like quilt batting between them with holes in it. And so when you squeeze the pillow together, it like pushes those 2 pieces of conductive fabric together. So that would be like a hug switch that you could hide inside something. The zipper switch is cool too. We'll do TV Big on jacket.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this is a TV Big on jacket, and this is one of the projects you're, I'd say, kind of most known for, right?
Sure.
Like, yeah.
This is nice because it's got this little nice like it looks like it's just like little gems.
It's very
I
subtle.
dropped the battery on the floor.
I know.
It's a very subtle jacket.
Yeah. So when I lived in Arizona, it's not such a problem here in New York, but in Arizona, like every single restaurant has a TV, even the ones that you don't.
Yeah.
That you want to go to. And so I wanted to turn off TVs, but I wanted a subtle way to do it. And so I put the TV beacon in the lapel, and here's the circuit back here. And then the battery cable goes down into the pocket, and but there's conductive thread that replaces the switch and goes down to the zipper.
Yeah.
And then
maybe I'll show us on the overhead later.
We can. I can take it off. And when the zipper pull goes by the switch, it bridges the two contacts and turns on the device. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, good.
Is it blinking?
Yeah, I think
it's just tough to see. We have to do it on the right because it's so light in here.
Someone wants to know if they can buy it. No, they can make it.
You can make it. I made instructions. You buy the TV beacon and you put a little bit of conductive thread and you're all set.
So
no, I won't make you one. Sorry.
Becky's ours.
Yeah,
you
can see it. Yeah, that's the infrared.
And then on the back, so she just turned it on. It takes about 30 seconds to go through all the codes. So yeah, this is the TV beacon, and then I'll show the zipper
Here's
part.
the other one.
I actually think this is one of the best first wearable projects people can do because it's
such an easy mod to the TV beacon kit.
Yeah.
That one actually has the pull on it and it has another switch.
Hold on,
I've turned the TV beacon jacket into a demo mode, so it has two in case one isn't working for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So so you can see here there's these two contacts here. So as this passes, it basically acts as like a push button. It presses it really fast. And so it doesn't have to be on all the time because with the TV gone, the way I designed it is it's just momentary. You just press the button to turn on. So you just have to go zip, and then it has pressed the button basically. So like when you enter a restaurant and you take off your jacket, you unzip your jacket, wait a moment till the TVs turn off, complete taking off your jacket, and it's all done. Yeah. Very subtle. And it works totally great, I'm telling you.
Yeah. It also turns on TVs for the people who are like me. Everywhere I go, I just want TVs on.
Yeah.
It turns the TVs back on too. It just sends a power signal.
I want TVs everywhere, on constantly. Just TV be on.
TV be on.
Just saying.
Okay.
I mean, there's only two more. Resistor tie.
Okay, this is the resistor tie.
It's very self-explanatory. It is a striped tie that looks like a resistor.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a sewing. It was
a
sewing tutorial.
You also had the element scarves.
Oh yeah, I didn't bring one of those.
That's okay, but it's on the blog. So it's a scarf with that was actually Amanda Waz.
It was Waz's idea. Waz says, "You have a knitting machine. Please make me an emission spectrum scarf."
So it's
silicone.
you basically take the emission spectrum of the visible emission spectrum of an element, and then you basically take a GIF and there's a place where you can get the emission.
You know what's really cool? It had an open source upgrade. So I was taking a GIF of and looking
open source upgrade
at how many this many stripes of black and then this many stripes of red, and this Australian programmer said, "That's awesome. I want to make emission spectrum beaded things, like a beaded bracelet or something."
Yeah.
And I happen to be a Python programmer, so I wrote you this code that just takes in your needle gauge, your gauge, or how many stitches per inch, and what element you're making, and it looks up the data from the government, from the science database, and then it spits you out a knitting pattern. And so you can actually, it's not just for my knitting machine now. You can click on the link on my site and find that page and make your own hand knitting pattern for an emission spectrum scarf.
Oh.
And open source. I should put the badge on that project page.
Yeah.
That's cool. But people can see I modeled for you, and that's actually a pretty popular project. You still have this on Etsy. And
I still have. Right now I have a couple in stock, even uranium and mercury.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that everything?
I have one that's silicon.
Was that all the stuff?
Bike tube headband, I think, is the only one.
Oh, bike tube headband.
It's not electronics, but I know Lamore likes bikes, and I like bikes. So I took my dead bike tubes and turned them into this
I actually like this. That's
chain
a
link
to it. Yeah.
Headband. You could make it into a belt too.
Maybe I'll put it on right now.
And a lot of people are like, "Oh, does the rubber stick and make your hair pull?" And it actually is really soft, and it doesn't pull your hair.
It's really soft.
Yeah. And you can make a belt or
that kind of,
a bandolier. It looks nice on you. It gives you this like Grecian goddess look because of the way that it looks like
it
kind
looks
of
like
olive
laurels,
leaf. Yeah, but it's bike tube, so it's kind of like this grungy
Yeah, a
Grecian
little
goddess
Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome
Exactly.
fashion
Okay,
show.
I'll wear this now.
Yeah.
Listen, I keep my hair back.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's all the projects I've
All right.
That's cool. Thank you for bringing many,
You've
but
been
not all.
stern.
It was as many as I could find and pull out of the boxes. Yeah, the code is Stern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Stern.
Well, so that was great timing. Of course, Becky is always on time. By the way, that's one of the things I really like about Becky. She's always on time. You're always on time. You know how important that is?
I was late today.
But it's
No,
but you know,
fine.
but you texted though. You texted though. See, that's the thing. You're
Oh,
technically
yeah.
not late. Anyways,
I'm conscientious. Yeah.
that's how people could always stay. Like I will take bullets for someone if they're just always on time.
I'm always on time when it's like a project deadline.
Yeah.
Always on time.
Anyways,
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna do. This is a big one. It's not out yet. Don't ask time.
Ooh. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is a big one. So we're debuting something, and I'm just gonna play the video.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the video.
Play the video.
Everyone get comfy. A little bit of a video. Here it is. World premiere.
Disco. No, sorry.
Yeah, disco.
Too early.
Yeah.
You saw it here first.
Yeah, here it is. World premiere.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
Okay, that's it. It's the Internet of Things printer from Adafruit. And right now, if you start tweeting Adafruit on Twitter, it'll print out right here. This is a product that we're going to release on probably Monday, you think?
Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or
yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we actually. Everything's working great. I'm just tweaking the code for how dark the printouts appear. 'Cause
Yeah.
mine is a little bit too light, but
Yeah.
this one's working great.
And this is based on a lot of things that we've been putting in the store, and it has this great enclosure. Phil
laser cut
Berguez,
enclosure.
one of our lead. The title that I give him a different title every week, but he's our creative engineer. He did the video and also the code, and designed the beautiful
I did
enclosure.
the thermal
Triple
printer
threat.
code.
Yeah, and I love this
then
pulsating green.
There's a
button,
pulsating
so nice.
green.
Nice.
And basically, what this is, because it's not out yet now, so I'm just going to say what it is. I don't have to answer
Yeah.
questions. No questions over there. Basically, if you want to have anything on the internet print out on this, you don't need a computer. All you need is to plug it into an Ethernet cable and a power cable. That's it. And
wait.
here it is. People are tweeting right now. What did they
Robots, awesome.
Yeah.
Printer.
say? Yeah.
It
So
prints 3 at a time. Actually, you can configure it, but to keep it from going crazy, we set it so it would only print
Yeah.
the last three
last three.
every 30 seconds.
and so there's a
I don't want like people to just
Robots,
like, it's unlimited,
robots.
keep going.
Robots.
there's a commercial printer called the Burt printer that's coming out I think later this year, and it's in this cute little enclosure and everything, but it's not it's not the same thing. This is an open source one that you
This
can build in your own.
actually, and also this was the winner of the Instructables contest, a similar project.
Yeah.
Ian Lisnett made a similar one for the contest that we sponsored.
Yeah.
So we actually won Adafruit stuff, and I was like, that's a cool project. Like, we should
Yeah.
make one with an Arduino.
So this will all be available. You can make your own. We have all this stuff available. The code is all open source. It does not print break bacon. We make that clear.
Yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
But we think this is
Print
really
on
neat.
it.
So it can do. Twitter is just the easiest one, but there's other things. It can do
Yeah.
anything that's online. So we're calling it the Internet of Things printer, the open source Internet of Things printer.
Okay. So
If it
people
were
can.
Matt Richardson, it would
So
tweet his,
every 30 seconds it checks Twitter, because you can't actually, Twitter doesn't let you constantly query it.
Yeah, no, they don't like
So
that.
every 30 seconds, it's going to connect, and it's going to get the last 3 new tweets. And so if you guys tweet anything at Adafruit, or I think even pound Adafruit should work.
We'll leave it on. So say nice things.
So you can say nice things, and we'll take questions and requests.
Yeah. One day we'll let the printer have its own show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously, we will.
Ask a printer.
Eventually, the Pick and Place will have its own show.
Yeah.
This will have its own show, and Becky, you'll probably have your own show. Everyone will have MOSFET. Everybody wants a MOSFET show. You know how fun it is for like a minute, but for the other 59 minutes, it's really boring because he just sits there.
I gotta say that I'm really worried that I forgot to. That I think MOSFET might have gotten out.
No, he's fine.
No, he's
fine. He didn't get out.
If he was out, he'd be running around like crazy.
Okay.
All right.
Jumping on you.
Because
purring.
I forgot that he was over there when I went over there earlier.
Oh no, it's good.
It's been bothering me the whole show.
Really?
Otherwise, he walks by and he like meows.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Meow. Okay, great. So
that's it. That's the.
That's
thing.
exciting. So it's gonna be next week.
Yeah,
we have everything. We're gonna laser cut some stuff, and it's gonna be a fun little.
I really want
pack.
one. It's really cute.
You get one.
Yay!
Well, I'll tell you one of the things I'm going to use it for. When I have to-dos, I'll just tweet it publicly, so I have my own record of it. But then I can just rip it off and be like directions to a place. I'll just
grocery
tweet
lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to. I mean, like my handwriting's terrible, and I go to great lengths to have to not like look for pens. So like I'll just type it and be like print, and it'll be like here's your list.
So everybody do a special shout out to Phil Burgess. Paint Your Dragon, our lead creative engineer.
Excellent video.
Yeah.
He did the disco light ball video too.
That's right.
It was very
I can
excellent.
play the disco video if everyone wants. No, wait, no. No, that night I played like 50 times.
I've also been watching it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, so that's it. That was the top secret section.
All right.
All right, we'll open it up. We actually have like maybe 5 minutes for questions, and we'll do a trivia question. So.
Okay, great. General questions.
General questions. Ask them away. I'll shout them out over here.
Okay, great. You can ask Becky questions too.
Okay.
Or ask me.
Yeah.
Someone says, be warned that thermal paper is a common way to get BPA exposure.
So don't lick it or rub it on your face.
Don't lick it, eat it, rub it on your face.
Or mount it to a helmet.
Use it as toilet paper.
Okay.
Put it near your
next
nose
up,
for
can you make a
extended periods of time.
capacitive touch that you can sense your fingers as X, Y? Becky doesn't work for making more. Are you going to maker fairs? That's a lot of questions there.
I need one question at a time
Yeah.
because that was...
Can you make a thing that tells, and a capacitive touchscreen that can tell where your fingers are, X, Y?
Yeah, we have our...
We don't have a capacitive touch.
We don't carry one. They
resistive.
exist.
Yeah, we have a resistive one.
We have a resistive one. At this time, there are no capacitive touch panels that are not bonded permanently to a display. That's usually how they're sold.
I got a good... here's a good question. This is from Robocgirl. When you make your own Arduino clone, what type of things do you test to make sure it will work good? If you really want to make sure an Arduino clone works like your own Arduino and like a shield plugs in, get the LUL shield.
The LUL shield is how I test to make sure
every single
it tests like every single pin. Yeah.
And so if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you know something's amiss.
Yeah.
Nice. LUL shield, another Jimmy Rogers plug.
Yeah.
LULs.
LUL.
All right. How about a ham radio badge? This is an interesting question. This has come up before. So when you become a ham, you already get something. You get your own
name.
You get your name.
Call sign.
So I was thinking, because I think about these things. I don't know if a badge makes sense for that.
Because you don't want to have a customized, you can get customized badges with your call sign on them.
So what maybe we'll do is we'll just release a ham badge template, and then anyone who can get their own embroidery machine and do that. We put our embroidery files up on GitHub. We're putting all the rest of them as soon as the badges are done. Anyways, next up. Will your sticker survive okay outdoors in a car? Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I have one right now. I put one on my toaster oven, so we're going to see how it holds up to heat.
Okay, can you sew with thinner stainless steel thread on a sewing machine?
The thin stainless steel that we have in the store is machine compatible.
In the bobbin.
It's
It's sold on a bobbin.
It's on a bobbin because it's a convenient way to sell thread.
Okay.
It can go through a sewing machine, but you might have to use a thicker needle. You might have to experiment with tension because it's not as soft as nylon thread.
Okay.
My recommendation is to put it in the bobbin and use a plain cotton thread on top, and you shouldn't have too much trouble.
Okay, we're
That's
going to do some speed round here. Looking to control 2025 LEDs separately in a loop, what might I need?
20 to 25 LEDs in a loop?
Yeah.
The easiest way to do it is to actually get some more LED strip. Like 1 meter has 32 LEDs in it, or the pixels. Pre-wired, you only need 2 pins.
Okay. Next up. Why do you make the Circuit Playground for, I think they mean Apple, and will it be for the Android? I can answer this one too. These are good questions for me.
You're in charge of
that. So Circuit Playground is for iOS, iPhones, iPads. There's already a good app for Android called Electroid. Check that out. It's free with ads or free donationware. You should check that one out. Someone did a good job on Android. We're probably going to do something with Android, but there was nothing great that we thought was out there for iOS. So check it out. Update will be posted this week. If you bought the first version, we have the Nether version with some bug fixes and new stuff soon. And you also get a coupon off for the same price.
That's right.
What is this?
Someone left me a message. It's very cute.
Yeah? Okay. Wait, next up, we're going to try to get these.
That's totally okay.
That's fine.
He's great. That's all I saw him
XV
yesterday.
and PN532. Can I control the EEPROM?
Sorry, what? Can you?
XV and PN532. Can I control the EEPROM?
I don't know what
Yeah.
EEPROM, so.
Okay.
But you can use an XB and the PN532 at the same time.
Next up, Swiss
RGB,
Army
RGB.
knife badge. Swiss Army knife badge. That's interesting. I'd want it to be a round knife that turns into a real knife.
Well, you know what? Boy Scouts has what's it called, like a chip card or something, and it's when you learn how to use your pocket knife, you get like cut the corner off of it or something.
Oh, yeah?
So like in Boy Scouts, you earn something for learning how to use your pocket knife responsibly.
Okay.
Could be like a Leatherman or something.
Are you planning to release Circuit Playground for Windows Phone? You know, I really like
Windows Phone?
I really like what Windows is doing with phone stuff. Oddly enough, haven't got to it yet. Next up, any plans for a retro computing badge sticker with 6502 or a Z80 on it? Yeah, maybe. We're also, if someone wants to design something that's really cool, maybe we'll.
That's tough because there are a lot of
Yeah.
good retro chips, like which, you know, if you put the Z80 on there and then the 6502 people are all like, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. The 6502 on there, people who are like the 6800 are like, 68,000 are like, hey! And then if you put the 68,000, then the people who are like, I'm an 8080, and like before you know it, it's just like all out 8-bit war.
Okay.
So it sounds like a cultural movement
Yeah.
worthy of a badge, maybe.
Next up, we have an Adafruit logo sticker. Maybe. You know what it is? I'm really picky about what our logo goes on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I have to figure out.
You did.
Like,
You did a post about how you don't want to put our logo just on anything.
Yeah, at Adafruit, a lot of electronic folks, we all get our stuff from the same place. We just don't. We think it's silly to put our logo on something that we didn't make. We'll just get it exactly from the company. When we put our logo on something, it's something that we made and we stand behind. The only exception has been our laser cut tools, because when we first started getting these Leatherman, we were the first ones to laser etch stuff. So we
Yeah.
said, oh, this is a cool thing to put our logo on and let people know that like Lady Ada actually etched these. I'm phasing that out.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the Leatherman with a name on it. No more Adafruit
Okay.
logo. If it has our logo on it, that means something very special. And that's the way that I think it's important. Like, just to put it in context, imagine if
All our PCBs that we make have our logo on them.
right. So it's something
So
that we made
enclosures.
that we're very
But
proud
if
of.
we didn't make it, it
Yeah.
doesn't have our logo on it.
So, anyways, that's our opinion about these things. We have opinions.
Opinions.
Let's see. I think I got through most of the questions. Okay, I hear the 1.8-inch 8 SPI display will work as a display in the Beagle Bone. Do you know
Someone
that?
did actually get it working. Cohen
Yeah.
did, but I don't know where the code is. So
Yeah.
I didn't
If
do
anyone
it.
finds out, post it up. In
But
the
post it
forums.
up because
Yeah.
there's photos, but I don't know.
Do you use Eagle for your PCB design?
I
Yes.
do.
We're still on 5. We didn't get a 6 yet.
I really like the Eagle badge.
Yeah, I haven't gone to 6
Yeah.
yet because I don't know. I want to wait a couple more months,
Yeah.
and then I'll move everything over. I'm just a little. I like to wait because you know.
That's how I feel about
Yeah.
Final Cut X.
Oh boy, let's not get into the final fight right now.
Yeah. Understand.
I know it's
It's like it's just not ready yet. I'm just not ready
I
yet.
know, okay.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Okay. That's it for the questions. We're gonna do a trivia question. Whew.
Okay.
That was a good one. Trivia question time. Or trivia question time.
Okay.
All
The
right.
prize today is.
I'm gonna give away a sheet of stickers.
Oh.
This is a big
Wow.
deal. Yeah, this is a big deal. And you know, because we're celebrating Becky's Becky joining us here, we'll also throw in a RGB LCD Shield.
Okay.
This is a big night.
Okay.
It's a big night. These are big prizes. Now let me just remind people of the prize. If you won before, even if you get excited, make sure you don't
We've
know the
had
answer.
a rash of people who
And if you're
have
people,
already won.
and if you're
entering
people
it.
that we've traveled and met you and went out drinking and stuff, and we know you and we paid you, make sure you also don't.
Because we'll give you
I
stuff.
think-
anyway
I
when
think
we
you
see
know.
But folks get really excited. They're like, I know, and they're like, oh no. But anyways,
It's not fair.
It's fun to play, but play silently if you know you're not eligible
Yeah,
to
let's
win.
have everybody. Okay, we want like what's really fun when people are like, "Hey, I've been watching the show for years, and I'm so excited that I finally won." Let's have those people have a chance.
yeah. You know what the problem is? We're friends with so many people that there's only like 4 people left to have won a prize.
That could be on purpose.
That's great. That's to the benefit of the
Those
new
4
the
people,
new viewers.
your odds are getting higher. Okay, so
Okay.
here's the. I'm gonna do it. This is a video quest. You
What?
know, like Jeopardy has no video. It's an image quest. You know,
Image quest.
video daily double. Is that what you call it?
Image daily double.
It's an image daily
Doodle-doo.
double. Yeah, doodly doo. Okay, so here it is. I want you to post the link to the Instructable for this project by Becky Stern. This project is people just steal this image and show it everywhere.
Well,
by the way.
and like
It's
with good reason, it's been on the 4chan all the time,
Yeah,
and
it's
like
on the
so they just
4chan.
find it and they're like, I'm just gonna use this
So
image.
it's on Instructables, and just post a link to
A link to the Instructable.
the
will do.
Instructable.
This is like the photo challenge we did.
Yeah, it's a photo challenge, and
These are my grad school classmates. I was like,
Oh,
can you
here it
please
is.
try this on?
Mr. Electrica. Mr. Electrica, you got it. Congratulations, Mr.
Hooray,
Electrica.
Congratulations.
Mr. Electrica, send a note to support@adafruit.com and send your address, and you get this. This is Series 1 of the stickers, all 33. They're beautiful.
And you get either a positive or a negative Rgb Lcd.
Yeah, pick one.
Pick one, and just when you email
Yeah.
support@adafruit, just say, I want the positive one, or I want the negative one. Doesn't matter. I'll
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
send you either one.
Cool.
right.
Thanks for liking my project and finding the link so quickly. That's so nice.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Wow.
So you guys talk amongst yourselves real quick. I have to find the cat.
Okay.
Okay, somebody should tweet us so we have.
Yeah, keep tweeting. Tell them what to do.
Should we do a? We'll do a recap of what we've got so far on the.
Well, let's
on
show.
the-
I'm going to show the RGB. I don't think I'll show the RGB LCD show because I think people always want to see more.
More electronics.
More of that stuff. So let me adjust. We got this cool thing here. So yeah.
It's really nice. I'm thinking of projects to do with
I
it.
got it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a little keypad.
Okay.
I think these things make really great, like on exterior doors of like shops and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the doctor is in, or
Oh, it's a cat.
oh hey Moss pet.
All right. Let's,
He's all.
I'm gonna sit on my lap.
yeah. Well, I have to put him up in front of the camera. Here he is. He's communicating with people out there somehow because other cats actually watch the show at the end.
Tweet, tweet, tweet.
Yeah.
We got a tweet, tweet, tweet.
All right. Here you go. We're not gonna let him down, so I'm just gonna hold him here.
I'm gonna sit.
Oh,
Okay. This is the happiest cat in the world right now.
this is like mega pettings.
Okay. By the way, K-Town was in the house.
Oh, nice.
Oh hey
Hey,
Kevin.
K-Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Okay.
star-studded show now. We have like awesome special guests.
Yeah. Okay, so special thanks to George Graves for doing all the recording as usual. Special thanks to all our friends who stopped by, all the people in the show and tell.
That's awesome, by the way.
That
It's
show
been the last
and tell
couple
was-
weeks really cool.
Yeah.
Jeremy says that he looks forward to a 6-inch solar panel on the shirt, Miss Becky.
Yeah, we'll probably do that.
6-inch solar panel on a shirt. It's a little large.
And Steve Conklin says he's going to do a new project with the knitting machine.
Oh, I do love the Steve Conklin. He really? He's gonna do a project with the. Okay, so Steve Conklin, we based the code off of his code.
I stole his code.
We
Yeah.
didn't steal it. We
I-
open source
Open
upgraded
source
it.
upgrade.
But the funny thing is, then Steve Conklin, who
Yeah.
owned the same knitting machine and started the like making the
Must
open
have
source
someone-
emulator,
Someone said
he
meow.
he asked me, "Hey Becky, what
is
kind of
for you.
yarn do I use for the knitting machine? Because I know how to program." And I'm like, all like, "Hey Steve Conklin, I have all this yarn, and can you
make this?
can I use your code?"
Yeah, we worked on that project over the course of a weekend or two, and we got it working. And unfortunately, there's actually a lot of people who want to use it, and we have to put some document.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard, and it doesn't work with other models of the knitting machine, and it's some of the stuff is still a mystery to us. But Steve Conklin in the house. Hi, Steve.
Okay.
Thank you so
Mosfet's getting
much.
a lot of tweets. He's got like 3
Yeah,
tweets.
Mosfet is a very popular cat. You know what's great is he loves us. He's purring. Isn't this-
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not skittish at all.
He's
My
super
cat
cute.
would not tolerate this.
He really likes us. Someone wants to know, will Becky be on the chat next week?
Sure, I could. Yeah, if
Yeah.
I don't show up, if I'm not, I'm usually not very busy, and
Yeah.
if I'm not here, I'm usually in the chat. Yes.
Yeah, the surprise on Becky, Lamore and I are quitting Ask an Engineer. It's your thing now. See you later,
The
sucker!
problem is, like, she can go talking for like a whole paragraph of text, and I don't know what she's talking about sometimes.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You just sit there and
I
listen.
know. Well, because I'm not an engineer. I'm
Yeah, but as we do more wearable stuff, you're going to come
I
in
will
and-
get better, and my programming will get less rusty. But you are the engineering genius, so
That's
if it's
cool.
Ask an Engineer, you
You're the
really should be
crafting
asking.
genius.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll change the name of the show to Ask an Engineer plus Crafter.
Yeah. And a cat.
And cat.
And
Okay.
a cat, Mothman.
All right,
Psychic
so
says
special thanks everyone. We'll see you
congratulations
next week.
to your new
Big week of new product announcements. Keep
I didn't
tweeting
actually
the
Still, your career is here.
keep tweeting.
Keep giving us tweets.
printer.
We got some
And,
tweets.
uh,
I got some nice tweets on
And
this
then
form. Thank
next
you.
week we'll have this on the show also, and we'll
Yeah.
have it released, and we'll have a kit.
And
Okay.
big shout out to Paint Your Dragon. Phil Borghese did an awesome job with the video and the project. So
Yeah.
cool. Super cool. I can't wait to see what people are doing.
Woot.
Woot.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Here is
Nice way to interact with them.
your moment of Zener.
A woot.
We'll play the video one more time for everybody.
Okay.
So. And here's the Internet of Things printer one last time.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet.